Bring back on.
Okay, Tony's going to join us here shortly. Really, what I want to share with you guys today is just some stuff I picked up, and it's very basic, right? Basic Chat GPT. I've not graduated away from Chat GPT. Uh, at least for me, it is, it is doing everything I need. Okay. So I came across a video the other day, and John's put it in the chat already, from a gentleman by the name of Dan Martell. And Dan Martell's an author, and he wrote a book that I've read about 3 times now. So that book basically uh, shares how to save time, right? And the name of the book is called Buying Your Time Back. I would highly recommend this book. I've implemented several things. And a lot of the stuff in the book is stuff that maybe you already know. I know Sarah and I, and the book that we co-authored, we talked about, having a perfect week, or what do you call it, Sarah?
An intentional week.
An intentional week. There you go. And so he talks a lot about that same type of stuff in there. But in this video, he has like, how many hacks is it, John?
Oh, you said 24.
He has 24 hacks that will make your life easier. Morning, Tony.
Good morning.
And so he has 24 hacks in there. And I went through and watched that video a couple times, and I learned a few things. One of the things that I did learn is that you can connect your Google email and Google Calendar to your chat. And so every morning I'm able to go in and click a summary. At 8 o'clock, I have it set up for me. So I can go in there. Like I haven't really been on my email yet today, but I can go into chat and it'll give me a summary of all the emails that I have in there. And the ones that are important, like you have an offer you need to respond to, or you had a showing yesterday that the feedback came in as a 9 or 10, you may want to follow up on it. So that was pretty cool. And then it also does the calendar. So I have another automatic at 8 o'clock in the morning where I get a calendar summary of my day. And again, it's just I mean, it's redundant, but I learned the hack, so I had to try it out. And I found it to be useful, like especially if I click on the, and I'll just show you real quick. So let me pull my screen up. Okay. And then I'll share. Okay. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I'll just go down here. Here's my daily summary reminder. Okay. And this is going through and showing in my calendar. This is basically what's on my calendar today, right? I got somebody staying in my short-term rental. Um, I have it's giving me just a summary of everything that's in my calendar for the day. And then the email summary. So today is what, Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So right here, daily reminders, urgent action, showing requests, and update, agent client reply needed. Um, I got a buyer interest on some feedback. And it's just kind of putting a few things in front of me, right? Nothing real major, but there was like one the other day. Let me see if I can scroll up to it. And and it said you had an offer, right? And so immediately I opened up my email and went after the offer. So, it just kind of breaks things up into high priority action items. Uh, I don't know, you can just kind of see what it does here, right? So it is a tool that if you wanted to use that you can connect, and something that you can do very easily by connecting your Gmail. And I would watch that video for the exact instruction. It worked out pretty good. There was another thing that I saw a friend of mine posted. And he posted, let's see if I can find this. Okay. I thought this was a pretty good prompt. I put it in the Facebook for you guys to try. So I'm going to just scroll all the way to the top to find the beginning of this prompt. Okay. So the prompt is, based on what you know about me, what do I need to stop doing in 2026 and what do I need to do more of? Okay. This was pretty cool. I think it pegged me. I'm right in the middle of transitioning of merging my real estate company. Well, not middle, that happened last week. And and moving my real estate company into another real estate company in a merger. And it came in and things that I need to stop doing in 26. Okay. It says I stay too involved in day-to-day details. I protect people from hard accountability and I solve problems instead of delegating them. Okay, that's basically probably what when I'm talking to chat, this is what it gets to know about me. Okay. It says I should stop saying yes, agreeing to meetings you don't really need to be in, take on extra commitments, and protect people's feelings over your time. And, it just goes on and it starts going through. I won't read each one of these to you, but, I think it pegged me pretty well. So it gave me like basically 6 things here on what I should probably stop doing. Okay. And what I should start doing in 2000s, is be more of vision and leadership, less operations. You know, I do have a focus and it knows I have a focus about diving into a little more into the luxury marketplace. So it's telling me about all that, right? And, more content, uh, more time mentoring and multiplying, teaching leaders like my team. I really want to focus on helping my team grow this year. Um, More intentional on my personal time, more strategic storytelling, and so forth. And it gave me kind of a one sentence to stop operating like a high performing producer inside your own world. Start operating like a founder of a legacy brand whose job is vision, relationships, health, and impact. And then we started having conversations about this, right? So it made me a checklist of what to stop doing and a checklist of what to do more of, all from that one prompt. Uh, and then it asked about, some core questions, asked me to rate, how I feel here, clarifying my role, checking boundaries, personal leadership plan. And again, it started just from that one prompt and it just keeps on going and going and going, right? Uh, so I would challenge you to do that, right? And see what it does for you. Yeah. One of the things I listened to a podcast the other day from a gentleman by the name of Matt King, and his podcast was all on doing, your business plan, and so now that I've moved the real estate company and I'm a team leader and really focusing in, I was a little behind on my business plan for this year as a team leader. And I asked it, I go, what would be a good theme to start the year off with? And the theme that it came up with for me was lead by design and not by reaction, not by obligation, not by habit. And it just started listing some stuff through here, right? And again, then we start building on. And I was just fascinated on how much it knew about me, my traits, my weaknesses, my strengths, just from interacting with chat. And like I said, I'm not graduated past chat. I'm not the master that Tony is on all the different things. I live in this world, and this is probably where I'll stay until I find it where it's not suiting me well. But as you see it that I'm scrolling through here, it just continues to build stuff for me. And what it did, it ended up doing some PDFs of some of these things, the checklist and so forth. I even asked it, you'll appreciate this, Sarah. I'll find it here. I asked it for some new affirmations, and it spit out some affirmations somewhere in here. And so these might be, I don't know if those are them. That's not them. But somewhere lost in this thread are some affirmations. So I had a PDF of the stop doing, start doing, and the affirmations, and I put those in my journal so I could see those every day. So again, going all the way back to that very simple prompt based on what you know about me, what do I need to stop doing in 2026, and what do I need to do more of? And I got a lot of insight out of that. Any questions or thoughts?
Hey, Nate, just to add, if any one of you would like to try this, and you think ChatGPT doesn't know you too much to give you, a good insight, you can ask it to ask you or do an interview you on who you are, what you do, everything that you uh, may need to inform ChatGPT, just to give you, probably the answer that you're looking for or that you might not know you're looking for. So, yeah.
In
I'll
that,
I'll tell you, Nate. As soon as you showed what your prompt was, I threw it into ChatGPT real quick, and I about shit myself.
yeah,
I recently did a business plan with ChatGPT where it asked me a bunch of questions, and of course, it's the same chat, so it already knew me from some of that, but it down the line, it's 100% correct. It's what friends have
yeah.
been telling me, and sometimes we know better than our friends, right?
Mhm.
But
Well, it's
obviously, chat knows me better than myself.
but it does bring out your weaknesses and teaches you your strengths. In that same video that Dan did, you can also link like your booking.com or your Expedia account. Now, I didn't have either one of those, right? So I went ahead and I created a Expedia account. And at the same time, I want to show you something that I did not know. There's a section up here called apps. If you click on apps, you can link your chat to Canva, Adobe, Photoshop, Alltrails, Booking.com, Expedia, Instacart, OpenTable, Spotify. And so I did link my Spotify, an Expedia account, and you can link it to Zillow, all kinds of different things, right? I just started there. And I asked chat, and I have it here. Let's see. So I went in here and it linked me to the Spotify or excuse me, the Expedia account, right? And I asked, I need a flight for two adults, one child that's 15 years old. I also need a midsize SUV. I'll be flying from Phoenix to Boston. I gave him the dates, prefer to fly earlier. And all of a sudden, it gave me this carousel of flights, right? And I think what I found, and maybe you guys know, if you go on to like Southwest or Airlines or American Airlines and you start shopping for a flight, I think they know you are looking. And then if you don't book then, the next time you go back in a day, the prices are much higher, you know? And so I think they use algorithms to overprice us. So I've been going on to incognito shopping for flights before. So this went in and it brought everything up to me, from the car and everything. And again, it kind of planned the trip by just asking that question. And I kept going back and saying, I want an earlier flight. I want to land at this time. And, just a way to use one of these built-in apps. I found that to be kind of interesting. I don't know if it was a time saver. It was a time saver because I end up going in and spending an awful lot of time trying to figure out which airline, what to do. I prefer to fly nonstop. It's hard to fly nonstop into some cities. I like my trip to be as short as possible, not sitting in airports waiting for a flight. So that was something that worked out. But again, look at these apps in here. Like I haven't done anything with Canva yet, but I guess I can intertwine right with Canva immediately. Okay. Um, Something else I just did the other day, and I found this to be fascinating because when I was using chat, I've only been on chat maybe 6, 8 months, maybe it's been a year, maybe it's been a year. And when I'd ask it to do anything with photos, especially Dolly, it would like really not do a really good job. And I just tried something the other day, and I just want to share this with you. So I have a listing. It's been on the market for 8 months. Okay. And we're actually going to reshoot some photos tomorrow. So I was trying to be more of a muse to my seller. She's older than I am. This happens to be a guest bedroom. Okay. And this top picture here that you see is what I pulled out of MLS. It's not a very pretty picture. I said, can you add some color to the bedroom? Add some pillows. Because I was telling her, go buy some pillows. She's got one pillow in here, right? So within just a few seconds, it threw a rug, right? It threw, looks like the same bedspread and just put like another little piece of bedding across and some pillows. And it changes the way this room looks really quick. Now it did add some carpet, and this is kind of her style. She has these Oriental rugs all over her house. It's crazy. It added some curtains. Now I won't use that, and I'll ask you guys in a minute because she asked me a question. Then I said, well, can we do it a little bit more modern? And so it changed the bedspread, changed the carpet, changed the curtains. And then this is the master bedroom. Again, she's got the Oriental rug. She's got these beautiful wood floors that are kind of hidden. And so this was the first pass. So it changed the rug to a white rug and changed her bedding. And Tanya noticed, she goes, look at it, removed the footboard. That's sometimes where it kind of goes off in its own. But again, immediately, I mean, do you guys see a change in that room? Does it look better so far? You know? And then if you noticed, she had this sewing machine in here. And I said, can you remove the sewing machine? Boom, it's gone, you know? And this is just with a command. I'm not using a separate program. I know Tony showed us where we go out and use a different program before, but I was just able to go in here. Then I said, can you lighten the walls? And then, so you changed it from the yellow walls to a more creamy wall, right? So again, and then I went into the kitchen again, Oriental rugs, right? I said, can you remove the rug? Boom, you know? And then this picture was kind of dark. And most of the feedback we've had on the listing that the house looks dated. You know, the house is 10 years old. It's not really an old house. It's just she has kind of some old type furnishing in there. But the lighting in there, I've told them change the light bulbs, get some stronger wattage in there. But like this picture looked a little dark. I mean, these chairs were washed within the counter, and it lightened up the photo a little bit, right? Made it a little bit better, right? Another angle, same thing. You could see that the rug's there. I didn't tell it to remove the rug. I said, can you lighten it up?
Mhm.
I took the rug out too that was over there and lightened up the picture, right? So anyway, really what I was trying to do is, can we make the house look good? Can I show her that the house looks better? Now, when she goes, can we just use those pictures? You know, and I go, well, that's good bait to get them in the house, but then when you get to the house, then they're going to see the old stuff, you know. It's not gonna have the sizzle. Um, what do you guys think about that? Have you tried chat to do some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never tried chat, but what I did do, because I had a listing right before Christmas, and of course the Christmas tree and everything, I threw it into Canva and I removed the tree and some of the decorations, and it was great. It was like it saved me from having to go and get photos redone.
Running.
Mm-hmm. And I
That
think you
looks
could,
good.
and I think you could, like, you could probably do the same thing just right here in chat, which was easy.
Right.
Tony, I don't know. I know you kind of moved from chat, not as your main guy anymore, into Gemini and all these other, things. Have you ever looked at this app section here within chat? Is this something that's fairly new?
No and wait, yes and no. No and yes.
Mhm.
No, I have not moved away from GPT. I've just gone very strongly with Gemini where it excels and GPT where it excels. Um, GPT, when they declared code red, is when I realized, oh my gosh, I need to make sure I have more accurate information. So I just started making sure I was clear with which one does what. We just built a robot, an AI robot. My guy and I built it, and it's in our art gallery, and it's a concierge robot, and we're training it on GPT. So we're using GPT as the large language model for the robot because GPT is the best communicator. It was trained the best in the world right now to have conversations. So where it's over enthusiastic and it was having hallucination problems with encouraging people to do all kinds of stuff. And that makes it perfect for conversation for a little robot in an art gallery. So we are using GPT. Connecting all these little apps, they've always been there that I can remember. There's always been app connectors, which I love because also I like that it lets you focus on what's most important to you so you can give it these connections. I have a few connected but not a lot, only because I just haven't gotten to that point where I was really trusting that GPT was really ready to do things completely because it's learning from us. It's like they're all kids. These AIs are children. I will tell you that recently right before Christmas, we did a complete gut out in our house, down to studs, replaced electrical and walls and everything. And so I went to Gemini and I went to GPT. Now, if you watch Gemini and GPT on a daily basis, one day the photographs on Nano Banana are phenomenal, and then the next day they're not. And then you look at them on GPT, the same prompt, and they're phenomenal, and then maybe the next day they're not. So I always advise to take the same prompt, throw it in Gemini, throw it in GPT, and just analyze and see what you get because some days it's just different. It's very interesting. But
Hmm.
I will tell you that we were in Gemini. I asked Gemini to look at the color of cabinets that we were doing cherry wood Italian flush set cabinetry, custom made in this kitchen. And I showed it the Bosch appliances we ordered, and I asked Gemini to use Nano Banana um, to draw out the paint color. I tell it to research paint colors and find me the best complementary color for the kitchen cabinets. And I said, and show it to me painted on the walls. And I took a picture of the raw kitchen and said, show me what this looks like. And so, ironically, Gemini took it one step further and decided I needed soffits. And it drew in these custom soffits, and then it painted everything, and it gave me 4 options, but it recommended one paint in particular, and it gave
To
me
me?
the name of the paint
No.
and its code number. And so
Nope.
I looked at it and I said, "Oh my gosh, these soffits are phenomenal." Handed it to my contractor and said, "Stop what you're doing. We're going to do these soffits." So the contractor said, "Oh my God, these are beautiful. Let's do that." So we did the soffits, and Gemini told me to go to Home Depot and get the paint. And it told me look for a screen. So I get to Home Depot and there's a screen in the sea of swatches. There's a billion paint swatches on a wall, and there's a screen. And Gemini said, go to the screen and type in this name and number, and it'll tell you where the swatch is. So I go to the screen, I type it in, and it was like being on The Amazing Race or something. I'm like, Darren, go 6 to the left and 3 up. And so Darren's counting and he's like, oh my God, it's here. And so we run out the door with the swatchwick in a second. And all the other people standing there were like, what did they just do? How did they know how to get that swatch so quickly? And it was all on the screen. So it was pretty cool how Gemini and GPT, they can function like that to help you in so many ways. It actually helped me understand my new appliances because the Bosch appliances arrived and they immediately did not work.
Oh no.
So, and I put the thing into GPT this time and it said it's not supposed to work that way. This has like a new car. It's going to hold you back. So it's going to heat slowly and then shut down and then heat slowly. You should have read your manual. But it told me not to panic. And it told me what it was doing because it has a sensor and it's reading the air condition in my house and the temperature, and it's reading the oven, and it's slowly acclimating that oven to the house. So I was like, well, go Bosch. So I love that I can pump just anything into GPT or Gemini and ask them questions and see what I get. But I really am playing back and forth with both just because some days Nano Banana outperforms on photographs, and some days GPT is outperforming on photographs. I think GPT has gotten phenomenally better in just the last few weeks. After Code Red was declared, I think it's just doing a lot better job. I don't know if any of you have noticed that, but I think GPT has had it's more rational or something. So
I belong to a women's choir group up here, and they desperately need a refresh on all of their stuff. So I went to Gemini and asked it for some stuff, and it was really cool. The Nano Banana, what it produced, and then I also threw the existing logo up into chat, and what it produced was really cool. So I think kind of playing around with both of them just to see what's the results you want to get. So
yeah, you'll get a different idea from each. It's very different. So, like, I just finished up my book after 2 years of writing this damn thing. I decided I had to get it finished at New Year's, so I finished it, and then I wanted to put in graphics and I wanted to put in graphs and things like that. And the difference between the Gemini's idea after reading the manuscript and GPT's idea was very interesting because sometimes I wanted the graphs from GPT, but sometimes I wanted the graphics from Gemini or vice versa. So I got to see it, pick and choose with two different ideas. It's like putting any two or three of us in a room. We're all going to have a different point of view. So it's kind of wicked to play with both of them and just give them both the same exact the prompt. Nate, you're on mute.
We had a gentleman come to our office and teach AI. It was over a year ago. I know you remember this guy, Sarah, and it might have been on a Zoom call. I'm not even sure it was live, but he would show us stuff like he talked about, his diet, and he put into chat his diet, and then I guess it was hooked up to Instacart.
no, you got to tell the story of the
Well, go
like
ahead, tell the
go
story,
deep with
because
it. So no, he took through a busy mom of three. He put in the prompt. These are their ages. These are the type of foods that they like. I need a meal prep for 7 days a week. So it spit out ideas. And then he went into and he said, okay, give me the actual recipes for these foods. And it gave the recipes. Then it said, give me the shopping list that I need. And it spit out the shopping list. And it said, add it to my Instacart. All within less than a minute. He had 7 days worth of meals for his, picky children, right? And then didn't even have to go shopping because it was right in the Instacart. It was mind blowing. So
delivered. Yeah, boom. Yeah, so how about some examples that maybe some of you guys have done that has blown you away that you could share with us?
Jason might want to speak up. Jason, you put something in about photo editing.
he said he was, oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
sorry
is.
about that. I'm driving right now.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, so I always put in there a little prompt just at the end of whatever I'm doing to tell ChatGPT not to change anything else in the photo whatsoever. And and that tends to stop it from freelancing, like taking things like the footboard out in that picture that was shown earlier. Because in the beginning when I was using it to do editing, it drove me crazy when it would change things I didn't want changed.
Yep.
So I just kind of figured it out. I take the somebody had said that AI is like a child right now, and I kind of took it to heart myself recently, just treating it like it's a really bad 12-year-old assistant. Like you just have to tell it exactly what to do and not give it any room to freelance. So, but you can see the photo that it works out pretty good for photos, and it saved me a ton of money editing stuff, especially with snow and fall and all that.
I will say, yeah, so it is, I always tell everybody it's a child. It is what you're saying is very true. And this is where I started teaching AI, which I just couldn't seem to get through to people. The imperative component to AI is to go back and learn prompting because you're talking to a child. And if all of us would spend even 1 hour just going back and reviewing what it means to properly prompt AI, we would get much better results always in the future. And I know it's not a pretty fun subject matter, but learning the language and learning how to speak and communicate with AI is so imperative to the results that nobody should have been ever allowed to even use it until they had a training course, as far as I'm concerned, because everything being thrown in would be great if we all had just better communication skills. And I've always said it actually makes you better at communicating with clients and family and children and friends. And because we have to think, oh my God, what did I just say? It didn't come out right. It didn't sound right. Oh, it wasn't right. Right. So Gemini also, to that point, I have found in the last month, Gemini, I can make a picture and just say, now remove the dog. Now remove the blank. Now add a hot air balloon that looks like a Remax. I can just add one sentence and it keeps fixing the photo or redoing the photo for me, and it doesn't change anything else. So not sure where Nano Banana became really strong on that component, but it's been acting very well without that component Jason's talking about, where it wants to go off and remove the dog and add a swan. so yeah, I love and the prompt that Jason you're using is great, just to continue adding on clarification. You always want to tell AI what you do want, and you always want to tell AI what you don't want. So it's very important to always have the don'ts.
I'll share something that I used for a couple months ago. I went to a retreat, and as part of the retreat, I wanted to give everybody a gift, essentially a journal. So I had everybody send me their logos, and I have a small laser engraver, and and I'll tell you a funny story after this. The journals were covered in vegan leather, and so obviously I had, just like ChatGPT, had to figure out the right setting for the laser. But what I did find is, depending on the graphic that they sent me, is the way that the laser would work. So I would have to go in and have ChatGPT maybe do a inverse image of it, because if they send it to me as a PNG with a clear background, the laser looked at it differently. And then for other people's graphics, when I fed it into ChatGPT, I don't know how it knew that, but when some people built their logos, there was pictures hidden behind pictures, and those started showing up. So I was going back and forth between ChatGPT and and Nano Banana, um, to figure out which one would work best. And I don't know if any of you guys know Mary Champagne out of Greenville. She's got a really cute little logo of her sitting in a champagne glass, that is a caricature. And I literally had to, well, I went into Gemini and had it turn it into a pencil sketch to be able to use it on the laser engraver. So I guess the moral of the story is go back and forth, but as you said, the prompting, you may have to change the prompting and the idea of what you want to get it to come out right.
What I love though is that you just trained yourself like hardcore training by doing it, right? Because
Yeah.
like that's way technical to get into. What you ran into was all the layered art, all the layered components, and each of those layered components. Sometimes when we're building something on Canva or anything, we layer this over this over this. I might want to hide something, so I put a little white square over
Yep.
top of it before I add something over it.
Right.
All those components were being read. And so that's really cool that I mean, your like skill level just elevated massively by messing with that, Fred. That was really an awesome project for you to take on. I love that.
Yeah, I
I think
literally,
the
one of the
moral of the
logos,
story is actually be friends with Fred, because that sounds like a really nice gift.
Right. Everybody's friend. We're all your best friends, Fred.
Hey, Fred, can you show us a journal? Do you have one on your desk that
You might have to
um,
turn off your background or put your hand behind it because you've got that cute thing behind you.
yeah, you know what? I'll turn off my background. And unfortunately, unlike Tony Ray, didn't have a total house redone. Where is it? Um, I had, I did have a bunch of work done on my house, and my office is filled with boxes. So those
yeah.
journals are somewhere in a box.
All right, no problem.
No
Yeah,
judgment.
but I'll take a picture and drop it in.
Okay.
Drop it in the group. But my little funny story for you guys is how dense I can be. I ordered vegan leather.
Okay.
I thought vegan leather was cows that were fed only grass.
Are you serious right now?
I'm 100% serious.
You were from
Love it.
Texas.
When I set the laser to leather, it burned completely through it.
Yeah. So that must be like a faux leather, what vegan leather must
Faux
be, right?
leather, yeah.
Okay.
So I guess,
It's
if it
not
would've
even
said faux-
Oktoberfest. How much German beer have you had this week?
Oh, I love it. Oh my
Fred's a
God.
German. I mean, Wolf is German. So his Instagram sometimes has him trying different German beers. Maybe it was that week this time.
I'll tell you, I mean, I, once it burned right through it and I realized it wasn't real leather because it feels like leather.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it doesn't feel like pleather. It actually felt like suede, like leather. And yeah, that's your humor for today.
Love
What
it.
other things? Esther, I know you're pretty prolific with AI. What are you doing with it?
Oh, prolific is not the word. AI and I just planned a trip to San Francisco, so that was incredibly helpful. But like, no, I am laughably not using AI to its potential. Like it's a little bit silly. I do ask it lots of questions about how to deal with an 11-year-old, and it seems to have really good comforting advice. So like I'm the class case of like people who are missing out on what it should actually be for because my I was just talking to another guy, another Remax agent the other day, and we're both high drivers and high influencers and not the kinds of people who know how to do structure and whatever. And he told me that AI has become the parts of his brain that he doesn't have so that he can have structure and all of those compliance and all the things that I just get really itchy about. That's been changing his whole world because now he has a Watson to his Sherlock is what I call it. I'm out there running around crazy, and then I need somebody who's going to hold down the fort and bring a gun. But you can't say that with Canadians online. I don't know if there's any Canadians.
Well, so you jumped in a little bit after Nate had shown his prompts, but one of the things he asked, and a couple other people that jumped in, that what should I be doing in 2026 and what should I not be doing in 2026? And I think that's a pretty powerful question to ask because all of us have strengths and weaknesses, right? And so you could even put in, it knows about this, so you could even put your disc, hey, I'm a high D, high I, help me. I need you to be, like you said, Sherlock to my Holmes with
Yeah.
the C and the S. So,
Yeah. Can I ask a question? I was in a mastermind yesterday where the guy who sells the Pivo device was talking about how valuable that is. How do you feel about the Pivo device and how it's working with AI? Do you have any
I don't,
experience there?
I've, I've never heard of it.
I bought one 2 years ago at CRS Celebration, and I probably have about a combined hour worth of work. And I saw the post, and I saw everybody saying the same thing. I bought
Yeah,
it, still in the
yeah, yeah,
box.
yeah.
Uh, you know, I guess if you really use it, it'd be good. I mean, and
I mean, same with
it's
anything,
really
right?
just to follow you around in the kitchen, um, and so you don't have somebody doing it for you.
Right.
Um, I've used it a few times, but I've not. Number one, I didn't really have the time to. I guess if I wanted to be an influencer and that was all I did all day, I'd probably be a good tool. They really, the guy's a good sales guy.
That's
Those
huge.
guys are freaking
Yep, yep. He really,
perfect sales guys. Now, what they didn't tell you, it had really nothing to do with Pivo. You had to use what's the app?
they're
That
all
it
called
can.
Pivo tracking, Pivo something, Pivo.
Well,
There's
yeah, Pivo, all that, but really, it uses a third-party app that you have to buy,
okay.
and I use it, and I'm trying to remember what
Big view.
I got this head cold right now.
That's okay.
Somebody,
While you're thinking about it, the reason I'm asking in an AI group was because he pushed it as an AI tool. So he was saying that every day you're going to get on and you're going to click some category like food in Salt Lake, and then it's going to give you a script of what to do in Salt Lake. It's going to bring in some B-roll. It's going to help you like post that to all of the different platforms. He's pitching it as an AI tool. And in my head, I was thinking, I don't think I need the device.
You
I think I
don't.
can just ask ChatGPT to give me a script for, I mean, if I wanted to do a video every day, which I don't think that's, I think that's overkill, but I think I could just ask ChatGPT, hey, give me 365 short 15-second scripts that I can post online about Salt Lake food, culture, theater, whatever. And it just struck me after he stopped selling because you're right, he is so good that I can do this all by myself, like Sarah's saying, that there's a whole lot of things that I should be doing in 2026 that I don't have to pay $650 for.
Yeah.
yeah,
The app is Big View,
Big View, yeah. Hmm.
and
Big
the
view?
app is great for the reason. So the reason you buy Pivo, and to Nate's point, if you're not going out in the field, if you're not going to be doing video out of homes or locations, you don't need Pivo. It is a
That's right.
tracker on a tripod that follows you around. It's perfect if you're going to get in the habit of video outside of the house or
Yeah.
office. If you're or you need somebody following you, you like to move and talk with your hands and point at things. Even if you're going to be working off of a whiteboard, you could literally use Pivo for that. But you'd have to know you're going to really need that tracking device, right? So the key component of the Big View, which I love, is that it takes all the problems away from posting the video and getting it done. So you sign on to Big View, tell it to give you the restaurant for Salt Lake City. It gives you the information. You read it instantly off of the little
Okay.
what do you
Teleprompter.
call that thing? Monitor thing. It scrolls for you at your speed. You read it. You then immediately say, put in captions. It does.
Yeah.
Then you say post. Done. It goes to every single
See,
social
that's
media
what he's selling
outlet that
now.
you have connected. It takes seconds to be done. And that for me is the win on Big View.
That's huge.
I don't have to do anything else. So if you
Right.
want to
Yeah.
just be in and out and get it
Right.
done, that's
Right.
why Big View is really cool. Do not buy Big View unless you call me first, because Bruno is the CEO over there in Brazil. He will give you a discount because so many people signed
Right.
up when I accidentally mentioned it at R4. They had 680 people fly in on them and hit them, and they didn't know it was coming. So they'll help you with the discount.
Yeah.
So-
Also, you can go back and find the video because we had Bruno on the show,
Yes,
and
it's in
so we had
our
a full
library,
hour of him.
hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have that. That's true, Nate. We had Bruno on right at the beginning when we started this group. So, but
I
it's a
realized when we got to the end of his sales pitch that he's a guy that has a camera, but the entire sales pitch was about what you're talking about.
Right.
Well,
And he's selling the camera,
Yeah.
but he's
Yeah.
using Big View's
Yeah.
brain to sell the
yes.
camera.
So
That's
you
what I
might
was
want to
gonna
play
s-
with Big View for free first, because there's
A
a
little
free
bit.
version,
Yeah.
and see if you can get in the habit of using Big View.
Right.
And because the simplicity of Big View is the sell. It's the component. It does. Even if you don't feel, you look freaking hot today, by the way. Esther. And so do you know
Tell
that
me
day where
more.
you don't feel freaking hot? You just want a little new lighting or you want your
Yeah.
makeup changed or something. It even has those buttons. It says, I need a little more. I'm making this up because I've never used this, but I
No,
need
right.
more
We watched him do
rouge
it.
or I need more lipstick or something.
Yeah.
It's so quick, push button, just be done. It's just get in and out, which I love about
It
it.
even
My
corrects
bigger
your eyes.
problem that
If
Yeah,
I
you're,
correct
love,
your eyes if you want. That's true. I
it,
don't say
the
correct
entire
your eyes.
sales pitch just left me with questions because really what I don't know how to do is control or understand the algorithms of all of the different social media platforms and know what they're looking for this week, right? That keeps changing. So it felt like I wanted, and I'm glad that you said Big View because I was like, what on earth can I get that doesn't involve the $650 price thing that has that understanding so I don't have to relearn YouTube every week. Is that what you're saying? Like Big View would do that for me?
I don't think it really does that. You know, it captures your video and you could push it out to post, but I don't think it knows what the algorithms are.
It's not giving you ideas based on what the things want.
Oh, you could go ahead.
Sorry, Nate. Esther, so I watched the video this morning because I couldn't be online. And you're right, he is a good salesman. That's why he talks so fast. He doesn't, and then he throws in the question directly to somebody to get the answer he wants,
Yep.
right? But I think what he was trying to highlight with Pivo, and I've had a Pivo for about a year and a half, and like you, Nate, I've only used it a couple times. It's because I haven't sat down and trained with it. But what I have noticed from the initial presentation I had at the Texas Realtors Convention when I purchased it, they have added a lot of AI stuff to it. And I'm seeing that with a lot of companies. As AI generation gets better and people get more ideas for it, they just start lumping it into their products. And what he was trying to do with his thing was saying, "Oh, it's an all-in-one system. You tell it what you want and it'll give you the short script and then you just shoot it and go." So you're 100% correct. Unless you want it to track you, unless you want that Matterport type stuff that you can add, you don't need it. Big View's awesome for that.
Yeah.
Well, Esther, I have a friend of mine who's a big YouTuber, and when he goes to do a post, he goes to Gemini and asks, like, give me a title. What should my thumbnail look like based on the algorithms right now? So you could use your either Gemini or Chat, see which one gives you the results. And obviously, as you know, you want to go back and check that stuff and see, change your thumbnail, change the title if you're not getting the results that you want. So
Yeah,
Thank you for
which
allowing
is
me to side rail. I had more questions than ever because I could tell I had been snake oiled a little bit.
yeah. No, the reality is I just gave my manuscript to Gemini and said make up get some videos for me. But the reality is they're never getting done. Because now I have to go back and go, how do I manually post it to Facebook? How do I manually post it to Instagram? How do I manually post this to LinkedIn and my Google business account? And I got to do it all manually. So then I realized, what the hell was I thinking? I've got Big View. Why don't I just read it into the Big View teleprompter? And then I'm taking my Gemini little thing it gave me, like Sarah says, I got all the Gemini video. I'll just take the scripts out of Gemini, read them in the teleprompter in Big View, and then let it just do all the work. Because now it's just super fast and I don't have to stress over it. Because reality is I'll get the video done and it'll sit on my desk for a week and then I'm like,
That's
it's
my
not
problem.
good anymore. Throw it
I have
away.
so many good videos in my phone. It is not even funny.
Yeah, and it's stupid because what we want as realtors, we have to just move quickly. We have to get marketing done. And so, and especially then you start overthinking it, and so just do it and be done with it. I think is the my love for Big View is that it's just one stop shop, get done.
Right.
And you can add GPT or Gemini scripts easily to the Big View teleprompter. So if you have something you write, and then you could even, like Sarah said, you could even add the thumbnail that Gemini just created for you onto the video in Big View before you finish it out with the captions and the posts. Like, it's so fast and easy to use it. It's going to be a learning thing, but I'll help you, Esther, if you want to get in there and play sometime.
So
You know,
I took
Out there.
oh,
oh,
go
good,
ahead, Nate.
Esther.
I was gonna say, years ago I took a class with viral marketing, and one of the things he said, and it's gonna sound really, really silly, but one of the tip he gave was, if you're gonna do video, you have to put it in your calendar. So you got to put the time in your calendar when you're going to record and all that. And it sounds so stupid, right? But all of us live by our calendar. And if it's not in the calendar, it's just in the back of our head as a thought that we know we need to get done. We go to bed with it at night, and then the next day we don't get it done. So when's your biological prime time? So when do you feel your best to be able to record, and then put it in your calendar?
I have mine in the calendar all the time, but I somehow
Well,
ignore
that's you. Don't plant bad habits here.
it.
Oh, don't be vulnerable. Jeez.
Yeah.
So
I
as
have
we
to
wrap
put
up
things in the
here,
calendar, Nate, that I like. If they're not things I like, I won't do them anyway. Whether
Yeah, I know. I've had prospecting and, do this, do that. But
yeah.
that's me, that's my bad
Well,
habit. So I have to change those.
I don't know that that's a bad habit so much as an interesting note for yourself that these are the
Mhm.
things I don't believe in.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot
no,
of things
that's
I don't believe
perspective.
in and I don't do. And there's some things that I know I should do, but I still don't do that would make me a better whatever,
I
you
hear
know?
that.
Yeah. What
You had
else we
another
got? We got a couple minutes left here.
you had another thought when I interrupted you. Did you want to share that?
No, it's left me.
Okay.
I'd
Well, I'd
say
like
No,
to tell.
it was a big view. It was a big view thought.
Okay.
So what you can do is it's kind of funny. You can record a video and then you can like click a button. It'll ask you like, do you want to add some photos in? And so all of a sudden you're talking and it'll add in like let's say I'm talking about business planning. And then it might show a business plan show up on the screen. And later on, you're talking about golfing, and all of a sudden, there's a picture of a golf course. It'll bring these pictures in automatically for you into your video. So it's not just your talking face all the time. It's pretty cool, and it's spot on. I sent a few things out. I even sent some things out where maybe one of the pictures really didn't match what I was talking about, but I sent it out anyway because it was just easier to send than to be critical, you know.
I I was playing with some stuff a couple months ago after one of our training sessions, and I was trying to put together some short videos, and it kept showing Soviet era aircraft. I was like trying to do some stuff with Randolph Air Force Base,
hmm
and I could not get it to change. I even would type in the exact type of aircraft by nomenclature,
hmm
and but like maybe now if I did it, it would be better since it's been learning. But it
Or
was
you
Yeah,
just
crazy.
and
drag and
you
drop
could
a
load your
photo
own
you want.
photos up too, you
Yeah.
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, drop your own photo in there when you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the more authentic photos, the better. So if you have your own, it's better to use, which is, by the way, everybody's using these AI photos and AI graphics. And right now, it has become very clear that AI and GEO, SEO, AEO are all looking at that stuff and discounting it now.
Which is
And
good because
so
it looks really weird.
it looks
Okay.
crappy. And so what's the new generation? If you have a website and you haven't touched it for the last 10, 20, 30 years, I don't care, however long you've had this thing, it is going to define the real estate community that wins in the next decade. That is the only thing that AI has to work with is your authority on the web. And
Oh,
AI questions are flying in faster than SEO questions to Google, which you have to have. But I'm telling you that AI is going to be your predominant question. And as it comes in, as people learn how to talk to Chat GPT, you better be found, or the other realtors are being found on their website's authority. So you want a real photograph if you can on your blog pages, and you want all of those pages set up with AEO, GEO, and SEO. And all you have to do is tell Gemini or ChatGPT every single time it writes something for you to write it in your style and sound like you, and make sure that it's optimized for those three things, and it will do it for you. Then you can copy, paste, and after you edit it, put it on your website or
You,
blog. And
you can even ask it to provide the meta tags as well,
correct.
and it'll give you that, so you don't have to think about that.
Yep, it's called the schema. So if you say, give me the schema for this blog, it will tell you what keywords you're focused on, what description to put in, what alt tags to put on your photos. It should tell you exactly what your metadata is for your website. And if you hand that over to your website curator, if you're not the person doing it, they know exactly what to do with those things to make that a #1 page. So it's imperative to understand that this is happening. It's already happened. So
How do
some
you
of
spell
us,
that? Schema?
yeah, SCHEMA. It's the scheme, the
The scheme.
the scheme. I don't know what else. I
Hey,
want
let me show you something that I've done. I did this last night. Okay. So I went in and the prompt was best realtor in Peoria,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I didn't come up in here, right? And I know some of these people. Brandon used to work for me, Jesse used to work for me, BJ used to work for me, Jay used to work for me, Melissa used to work for us,
The
Joe.
and Joe
kingmaker.
used to work for us, right? So, you know, and what was it doing, right? It was showing, the 5 point stars. And then I went in here and I think I asked the question like, hey, what about me? And then it's, why is Nate Martinez not on the list, right? And then it starts to tell me all kinds of stuff, right?
Just blowing your
And then like my team, is broken up by Brandy, Jennifer, Nate Jr. as some examples, and then it went in and it started giving me stuff. Then it gave me a graph and it was showing stuff, and then like it was showing like my production against all these other guys, and like branded his whole company because he has his own company all
Company
under
team.
him as a team. So it shows like I had 54 sales in the last 12 months. His office, but it's all under his name, had 598. But it shows that I sold 702 homes in Peoria, I guess, over a period of time, and he had sold 767. So I pretty much sold the same amount of homes in Peoria as his whole company did over time. But in the last year, and then there was something in here like how many reviews. The reviews were crazy. Like he had 2,000 reviews,
But that's
and
probably because his entire company goes under his name. So every
right, yeah,
agent goes
yeah,
under his
yeah,
name.
yeah.
We have a team like that in San Antonio that everything's under them.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is, you can do some great research. And I asked it, and I did this a while back. I haven't executed on it when it first happened. And I didn't come up in like Blackstone Country Club where I live right now, and I'm predominantly #1 or #2 with the most sales in here at all times. I didn't even come up in the top three, right? And I was like, and some of the people were like either a brand new rookie or somebody from out of the area that somehow got in there. So I asked Chad, I said, can you
Yeah.
create a way for
Exactly.
me to dominate when people ask? And it gave me like a 12-month program on exact step to step to do blogs, make sure my blogs are saying Blackstone Country Club, where, maybe a lot of my voice is Northwest Valley because I just don't work Blackstone. I work Glendale, Peoria, Surprise, whatever, And because I'm more general, I'm not appearing on those really small searches. So if I want to be in a very targeted search like Blackstone Country Club, my message has to say Blackstone in it more,
Right.
as opposed to the Northwest Valley.
Awesome.
to.
Well, we got 1 minute left. I would like to challenge everybody to watch the video that we dropped with the 25 hacks and then challenge you to go and put it into the Facebook group. What did you implement?
What'd you learn?
What'd you learn from the hack and how are you implementing it? Let's share and learn from each other because Esther will watch that video and take something different away than Sharon will. And so let's collaborate on that.
Perfect.
And
Ray, are you going to come over to the Hustle Mastermind in a second? I would love to have your voice in there. People like to ask you so many questions.
Who are you talking to?
You, baby.
Oh, sorry, honey. I am running out the door to a listing appointment at 10:30.
That's
Oh,
hard to catch that one. You guys
yeah.
are all welcome. We're having the Hustle Coffee Shop in a second.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
Okay.
good
it's a
one.
great
That's a
group.
good one.
Yeah, that's a good one to
Thank
jump in. So same time we had our meeting on a different day this week, but it will be the second Thursday in February. So thank you guys all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Love
Bye,
y'all.
same to
Happy
you.
New Year.
Bye.
Bye.
Blessings.
Bye.